Hey everyone, and welcome to Isms by Josie. Today I'm going to be doing the basics for crocheting. For my returning subscribers, thank you so much for tuning in. And for my new viewers, please consider subscribing, share, hit that like button, leave a comment below, and click on that notification bell for future videos. So today you guys, this is the part 2 video. In the part 1 I did the basics for lefties, so in this part 2 I'm going to be doing the basics for righties. So what I have is just 3 items that you need to just do the basics, and what it is I have my yarn. It's 100% cotton. There's different materials that you can use, different textures you can use. So pick out the one that is good for you to use at a beginner stage. At a beginner stage, I would prefer yarn that doesn't have too much fray off the yarn, and something light colored and just the right width. I think too bulky, the stitches will be kind of hard to kind of get the crochet needle through, and too skinny, it's gonna be too tiny for you to work with. But anyway, concerning materials, there are a lot of textures out there that are very fun. You've got the faux fur, you've got the confetti, you've got the crinkly threading that comes out of it, or you have your acrylic and wool polyester type yarns that have a fluffy kind of fuzz coming off of it, which is okay but not ideal. 100% cotton is fairly slick, not too much fraying, and I think this works well for putting, warm mugs, warm pots and pans. So I'm not saying they're inflammable, but they're heat resistant and won't melt, as opposed to like the acrylics or wool or anything. Okay, what else that I have here is a hook. So I do have a sized hook here. It has a flat middle for you to put your fingers on, but this one here is a size G, or a number 6, or a 4.25 millimeter. So some brands will give you just the letter, some brands will give you just the number, and some brands will give you the actual size of the needle. It's either one or the other, or a combo of the two. This one happens to have all 3. So you can tell that it's a crochet hook because it has the hook at the end. And this is what we're going to need to create our stitches. Lastly, we have the safety pin. This kind of indicates where you are in your project should you lose your place or count or anything, and I can show you how I end up using that. So, how to hold your hook. You can hold it overhand. I don't prefer it because you can tend to make your stitches a little too tense. And holding your hook this way over time, if you're sitting there doing your projects for a long time, for days in a row, your joints will end up hurting. You'll end up getting blisters on your fingers. So I like to be very light-handed with this. I'll lay the hook on to my palm like this. I'm going to take my index and my thumb and place it on this flat. You can, if you don't have the flat, you can find a spot, a comfortable spot on your hook to do that. But here I'm holding it like this. I've got my 3 fingers here to kind of back me up so it's not too lonely just doing this. Okay. Now, first thing that we have to do is cast on to your hook. And how we do that is you're going to take the end of your yarn. I'm going to take my ring, pinky, and thumb, and I'm just going to hold the end just like that. I'm going to take my index and middle finger and pull it apart maybe about 1 inch away. So now I have my hook, and I'm going to lay it perpendicular to the yarn, making a little cross. And then what I'm going to do is put the hook down, make it go back and around, to create this loop. Let me do this one more time. So perpendicular to the yarn, down, back, and around to make the loop in your yarn. I'm going to take my middle finger and just hold it where it crosses so that I can let go of the yarn. I'm going to gather up some yarn around my finger. Now what we have to do now is we have to do a yarn over and pull a loop, but how we're going to do that is pinch the end of the yarn. We're going to slide the hook down close to that pinch, and where it crosses, if you can see here where it crosses, I'm going to pinch that with my thumb, and I have my ring finger. That way it won't move. You keep pulling it, it's not going to leave your pinch. Now what we're going to do is a yarn over. That's YO. That's the universal abbreviation for yarn over when you do instructions. So we're going to yarn over the hook like that. So let me do it again. We're going to put the yarn over the hook. Now we're going to take the hook and drag that yarn through the loop. Oops, I let it go. Try not to let it go. I'm pinching it back where it was, so no worries. I'm going to pull the hook through the loop. Now before I continue, I am going to pinch again the end of the yarn. I'm going to take my index and thumb here and push down the knot towards my other thumb to where the knot is now being tightened. So when you get to a point where you can't push it down any further, I can now pull this thumb and this ring finger out to tighten up that knot. Okay, and once it's tightened, I'm going to grab the knot and slide it up towards the hook like that. And you want to leave some room, so you could take your hook off or on. You just need a little bit of slack because we're going to be making new stitches. But that's how you cast onto your hook from scratch. Now next I'm going to teach you is the chain. The chain is the basic stitch, CH. That's the universal abbreviation for chain. What you want to do is hold the knot down with your middle finger and your thumb, just so it can have like a base point, so you can pull the hook and it's not going to move anywhere. But now I'm going to yarn over and create the chain. So you yarn over the hook, pull a loop through the chain, and we've completed our chain. So let's talk about the parts of the chain here. This single chain that we just created, it looks like a braid because it has one loop here, one loop there. So when we're holding it naturally, it's kind of like this. So we would say that this is the front loop, and then this one back here is the back loop. And I don't know if there's an official word for it, but then there's this little hump in the back. If you flip it backwards or top side down, you can see this little loop. I call that the spine. I like to work with the spine. Most instructions will just have you go through the front loop. I like to work with the spine in the back. That way I can keep the chain looking nice. Okay, so let's create another chain. Yarn over, pull up a loop, and now I have two chains, and flip it upside down. I have two spines. Let's yarn over, create another chain. Now I have three chains, flip it over, and I have three spines. Okay, so let's do this 22 more times. Okay, so I'm going to do this 22 more times so that I can have 25 chains altogether. So if you need to, you can click on the gear button on the corner of the screen, there's a playback option where you can slow down or speed up the video. So you can go ahead and do that whenever you need it. And then also, if you're a more visual person and don't need to hear me talk, you could always click on the closed caption button and then lower the volume on your phone or device. Now I am not counting while I'm talking. I forgot to count, so I'm going to count right now. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. So when I was younger, I would just practice my chains. So in the beginning, don't be too upset or anything if you see that your chains are not uniform in size. When I was learning, my chains would be mad tight, and then all of a sudden it's loose, and then tight again. It was just a total mess. So I would practice my chains like this. And same thing when you learn how to write. So when I was younger, though, I would like make these into a bracelet. So let me show you quickly how to do that. And now you can do a single ply with yarn and do one color. You can do 2, 3 colors, just like wrap it with this one here. And then I would pull all those strands through the loop and make this really cool braid. But anyway, and then what I'd do is I would take the end of that chain, and you see how you have this spine. Like I said, I like using the spine because I don't like messing with the chain. Okay, so I would take the hook, put it through the spine, and then I would yarn over and pull through all the loops, and that's called a slip stitch. SL, universal for slip stitch in most instructions. And then I would, you know, fasten this off, and this would be a bracelet. And I would be making these for friends and stuff like that. So that's one way to learn your chains. But I'm going to take this off. Okay, but we're going to move on, and I'm going to teach you how to do a row. So I'm going to teach you 3 stitches today. It's going to be the single crochet stitch, the half double crochet stitch, and then a double crochet stitch. And these are the basic stitches that you can use. For a single crochet stitch, we have to build the height of the row, and usually that takes 1 chain. So whenever you do a number of chains like this and we're starting the first row, to do a single crochet stitch, you have to stick your hook into the second chain from the hook. So here's 1 and here's 2. And like I said, standard way of doing it is to put it through the front loop like that to make a single crochet stitch. Since I like to keep the braid looking nice, I turn it upside down. Now the second chain from the hook, I'll put it in the spine, that little hump, right? Now, you yarn over and pull up a loop. You're going to yarn over again and pull through 2, and that's how we make our first single crochet stitch. Now let's make another one. So into the next stitch, put in your hook. We're going to yarn over, pull up a loop, and then yarn over and pull through 2 loops, and now we have 2 single crochet stitches. So let's do this again. Into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and now we have 3 single crochet stitches. Now I'm just gonna repeat this. This is gonna be 23 more times. Oh wait, no, not 23. What am I saying? 21 more times. We did 25 chains, but that 1 was to make the height of the next row. So we have 24 chains left, so that'll be 24 single crochet stitches we have to do, minus the 3 that we just did. So 21 single crochet stitches. That was a little math there. Sorry about that. Anyway, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Okay, so we have 24 stitches in total. Now here you can tell where you have some inconsistencies. I kind of messed it up here. There's a little kink, and this top loop here is kind of loose. But yeah, you can continue down a row, and you can use this to tie your curtains back or something. But yeah. So then I'm going to do the second round, and we're going to do half double crochet stitches, and we're going to compare it to this round, this row, and you're going to see how that it's higher than the single crochet stitch. So gather up some yarn around your finger. I'm going to show you how to do this. So we have to turn our project around. So all it is turning it to where now everything is on the left side. So to build the height of the half double crochet stitch, we have to do 2 chains. So we're going to yarn over and pull a loop to make 1 chain, and then we're going to do it again to make 2 chains. Now to start a half double crochet stitch, we have to yarn over, and then we're going to stick into the next stitch. So these 2 chains here not only build the height, but it's going to be considered as the first stitch. So into the next stitch, front and back loops, see it's going through that braid. We're going to yarn over and pull up a loop, and then we're going to yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on the hook. So we've created 2 half double crochet stitches. Now, probably should have mentioned this earlier, and in my video it actually took a bit for me to mention it. But where we did the second chain, let's put the safety pin on. This is going to indicate where the top of the first stitch we did. So here's the second half double crochet we did, and this is going to be this chain next to it. That's going to be the second chain from the first stitch we did. So just putting this marker here is going to show you where the first stitch is and where to put your hook, because sometimes these stitches can get tight and then you can no longer see where you need to put your hook. Okay, especially if you're using dark colors. Now let's do another half double crochet stitch. Yarn over, put your hook through the next stitch, yarn over again, pull up a loop, yarn over again, pull through all 3 loops. So now we have 3 half double crochet stitches. Let's do one more. Yarn over, put your hook through the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. So now we have 4. So you should have the same number of stitches that you did in the round below. So since we've already done 4, we have 20 more to go. So I'm going to do 20 more stitches. Again, you can slow down or speed up the video using the gear on the screen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and then 20. Okay, so we have our 24 stitches. Take a look at the rows that we did. We did 2 so far. So from the edge up to where my hook is, that's how high a single crochet stitch is. Now from where my hook is to the edge up here is how high a half double crochet stitch. So you can see the 2 different size differences, which is why you'll end up choosing what stitch you like better, especially when you do bigger projects. But you can imagine this you can make your own belt for something. Okay, so the next we're going to do round 3, and I'm going to show you how to do a double crochet stitch. So what we're going to do is turn the project over like we did before, so all your stitching's on the left side. And to do the height of a double crochet stitch, we have to do 3 chains. So yarn over, 1, 2, 3, and this is going to be considered as 1 double crochet stitch. We're going to yarn over to start our next double crochet stitch. We're going to put our hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and now we have 2 double crochet stitches. Let's do that again. Yarn over, put your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. To do this again, yarn over into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through the last 2 loops. So now we have 4 double crochet stitches. We have to do this 20 more times, and then I'm going to show you how that safety pin ends up working. So let's do 20 more double crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and then the last one, 20. So where we are with this safety pin, we have to put it through both the front and back loops, which is right here. So now we know easily where we stick our hook. Okay, make sure you get through the front and back loops like this. We're going to yarn over, pull up a loop, and we're going to finish this double crochet stitch. We can remove the safety pin, and so that's how that safety pin works. So let's take a look at this row, these rows now. So from the edge to where my hook is, this is the single crochet stitch height. From where my crochet hook is up to here is where the half double crochet height is. Now from where my hook is to the edge is how high a double crochet stitch is. So you can see how exponentially it's getting higher. So I like to use the double crochet stitch just because it saves less time by creating these long projects. However, you can see that there's gaps in between because it's a taller stitch. I personally love the look of a half double crochet stitch because it's like a nice thick stitch and just the right amount of height. Single crochet stitches I'm not too fond of because when you're sitting there trying to make a long project, single crochet stitches, you just know you're going to be there for a very long time. Now that you know the basics of the stitches, I'm going to show you how to create your own pattern. So we're going to do double crochet stitches again. You can do any stitch that I showed you here today, but I'm going to do double crochet stitch. So we have to turn our project like we did before so that all your stitching is on the left side. We're going to do 3 chains to make the first double crochet stitch and to build the height of the row. I'm going to do 4 more double crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now I have 5 double crochet stitches. This is where on the 3rd chain you would put your safety pin, but I'm going to stop after this. So now that we have our 5 double crochet stitches, I'm just going to chain 2. 1, 2, and I did that because I'm going to skip 2 stitches. So if you skip stitches, you should make it up with chains. so that it's a good placeholder. So I'm going to skip these 2 stitches. I'm going to put my hook into the 3rd stitch after that, and then I'm going to do my double crochet stitch. So now we just created a void. I'm going to do another double crochet stitch into the next stitch, and then I'm going to create another void. So let's do 2 chains, skip 2 stitches into the 3rd stitch. Oh no, I lost my yarn over. Into the 3rd stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, finish this double crochet stitch, make another one, and then we're going to repeat this. So now we have the 2 voids. Let's create another one, chain 2, yarn over, skip 2 into the 3rd chain, double crochet stitch, yarn over, do another double crochet stitch. Okay, then I'm going to chain 2 again, we're going to skip 2 again into the 3rd stitch. Okay, another double crochet stitch, and then actually I'm going to finish the last 3 and make a double crochet stitch. 1, 2, and then 3 would be that 3rd chain, 2 front and back loops. I didn't have a safety pin on this side, so you can see how difficult it was trying to find the loops to put the hook through. But anyway, I'm going to finish this with a double crochet stitch, and then we're going to look at what we have. So these are 3 rows now, or 4 rows. We have the single crochet, half double crochet, and then we have double crochet with the voids. But you see how we have those voids, it just changes it into a whole different thing. When we come back around and do another row, you can always do the double crochet, 2 double crochet stitches in the void, skip these 2 to do 2 chains, do 2 double crochets, so you can checker your pattern or keep it same, make it voids stacked on voids, you know, but it's endless. And imagine making your own runner for a dinner table. Choose like a very fancy, you know, soft feeling type yarn, or being very ballsy and doing a whole blanket. I know I've done it, and some of my friends have done it, making baby blankets as gifts. And you know, you can use an array. They even have baby yarns for baby, so this is pretty soft. The yarns for baby are super soft, so you can only imagine. But patterns like this on a baby blanket make it quick to do, make it light for the baby. So it's just a few ideas that you can end up doing using these basic stitches. So that's going to be it for this video. Again, if you are a lefty, check out part 1, but part 2 is for righty. I'm probably going to do another you know, crochet basics. I'm definitely going to do a knitting basics, so if you want to learn how to knit. But hello, comment below, let me know your feedback, let me know if you need help with anything, or if you have any requests to see anything. You can also email me. My email address is in my about section in my channel, and so you can send me instructions, you can email me your questions or just comments or whatever. But I really hope this was helpful for you guys. The basics for crochet are just really simple, and you can end up making endless projects for your home or for a small business. So thank you so much for watching. This is Isms by Josie. Please share, like, and subscribe for future videos, and I'll see you again next time. Thanks. Bye.